Hey, this is Sky. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Go check out my website at skysworld.com for life coaching and mentoring. Let's talk about fatigue. There's real fatigue and then there's a perceived fatigue. Real fatigue, it means you're really tired. You've been going too hard. You've been beating yourself against the wall, whatever. You know, you've been really doing it these days with work, with your family, your productivity, your exercise. You're really pushing yourself, and you might need a rest. You might be overtraining. There's a lot of ways you can identify real fatigue. Your thoughts can be jumbled. You could become really emotional and just wonder, why can't I think straight right now? Why am I having a hard time just putting basic logic together? Why don't I understand this concept? I should be understanding this. You might be tired. You might need to rest. Your brain might be shutting down. There's a lot of ways we can identify very legitimate fatigue. It could be health. You could be falling apart, having a lot of health problems these days. They're real health problems. But where does that come from? And you may be confused. Why am I going through this season of being unhealthy? You may be extremely fatigued and your body is literally falling apart. It's a red flag. You need rest. You need nutrition. So real fatigue is a thing, and even though I coach people and tell people to push yourself, find your limit, find where it is where you just reach that limit. I found that yesterday. I was in the shop. It's 110 degrees in the shop. I almost passed out. I was feeling like a bobblehead. I realized, okay, this is my limit. I'm working a little too hard. I need to slow the fuck down. I'm an old man. I need to slow down. I found my limit. I went and sat down and just recovered for a while. Had some water. But you want to find your limit in life and to not push yourself past it. You may want to test it. But real fatigue is a thing, and it can be a killer. But I want to talk about perceived fatigue, this perception of fatigue. I find that interesting. That we think we're tired. You may not actually be tired, you just think you are. Perceived fatigue can keep you from being motivated, can keep you from the adrenaline rush that you need, can keep you sedentary and isolated. You can have this perception of fatigue and just kind of lounge around all the time, telling everyone how tired you are. And you don't even understand it because you feel like, well, I get good sleep at night, but I'm just so tired all the time. And like we just said, there may be an aspect of your daily regimen that is exhausting you. Exhaustion is a real thing. Fatigue exists, but if you're not that productive and you feel a lot of fatigue, it's most likely just your perception. So we know in the gym when we're not motivated to go work out, and most people aren't really motivated to go work out, and they'll bring their little earbuds or their headphones, and the music that you listen to, usually you pick something that's going to give you that adrenaline rush, right? Some gangster rap or some heavy metal or whatever it is that gets your, get your gears going. And when you look around at the gym, everybody's got some sort of little device in their head. And if you don't wear your earbuds or your earphones, every gym I've ever worked out has music playing. The reason why they have music playing at the gym, and the reason why the gym isn't just a silent room, it's to distract you from that perception of fatigue, so you can stay focused on your workout. And it works. It's scientific, it works. So this perception of fatigue can be engaged with, can be played with. Real fatigue has to be obeyed. I suggest not pushing yourself past your point of exhaustion. It's dangerous. But your perception of fatigue, you absolutely have to push past that. David Goggins talks about this perceived fatigue, and he tells you that you have 40% more left in your tank. You feel gassed out. You still got 40% more to go. a lot of marathon runners, and he's a big marathon runner, they realize this. They get halfway through and then they're like, oh, I'm ready to crap out. It's 13.5 miles. Fuck this. But then they find that second wind. Where does that second wind come from? It was really just conquering the perception of fatigue. I get second winds in the gym sometimes, and it's a fun experience to have. Then you realize, wow, I just got over some mental block. I was tired, and I realized that I wasn't actually tired. My body wasn't shutting down, it wasn't exhausted. It was just a mental thing. And you notice this when maybe just that right song or the best part of the right song comes on, and you're just sitting there pumping that weight, that bench press, like, yeah, this fucking sounds great. You've just conquered that perceived fatigue. So this idea of perception controlling our physical body is interesting to me. Now, perceived fatigue can also slow you down. It can slow you down in your exercise, but it can also slow you down in your recovery. And scientists have been studying this. So here's a trick that you can do. I'm going to try to start doing this myself, just to play around with it and see if it works. But I was reading about this. There's scientific studies done on this, and there's been a lot of positive results. Your perceived fatigue, this perception of fatigue, follows you out of the gym after your workout and stays in your brain. And this is one of the reasons why you feel so exhausted after your workout. You may not be as exhausted as you actually feel. However, regardless of your feeling of exhaustion, this perception of fatigue can slow your recovery down. The actual recovery of your muscles trying to repair themselves can be slowed down through your perceived fatigue. So the way that we can trick that to get around this false perception is also through music. The same trick that we used during our workout of using music to inspire us, motivate us, and give us adrenaline to conquer this perception of fatigue, we can use music to conquer the perception of fatigue, which slows down the repair of our muscles. However, here's the thing. You have to listen to different music. You can't listen to the same Metallica or Ice Cube or whatever it is that gets you all geeked up. You can't listen to that after the workout. You have to listen to soft music. This is the studies that they've been doing. They take people that have been working out in the gym and they're listening to their tunes and all that, and they track how the music inspires them and motivates them. But then after the gym, after they're done with their workout, you turn it over to some Mozart or to something, soft and soothing. It doesn't have to be classical music. It could be reggae. It could be whatever. You pick your genre, but make sure it's soft and soothing music. And listen to that for about 20 minutes after the workout as a recovery aid. And it helps you recover faster. Scientists have been proving this shit. And the people that don't listen to the soothing music after the workout don't recover as fast. I just thought that was interesting. Thanks for watching.